Stock Blocks. Today in the shop we have this 2013 BMW 328i. We've got another mud flap and a splash guard installed, so let's go ahead and show you how to do it. Here we have the tools laid out that you'll need for install. You'll need an 8mm socket, a 10mm socket, a Phillips head screwdriver or drive. We have one in both of these. You'll need a T25 Torx, a small flathead screwdriver to help remove some clips, a level, a marker to help with marking and setting up the front install, and then you'll also need a drill with 1/8" drill bit. Here we have the front laid out. What you'll get in your kit is your mud flap or splash guard for that corner. Today we'll be installing the splash guards, and then you'll also get the hardware. We'll go ahead and put a breakdown of that on the screen right now. Here we are at the front fender. We're going to begin by grabbing our flap, holding it up against the fender, and marking our mounting holes. So let's go ahead, grab that flap. We've got our flap and we've got our Sharpie, and we're going to take the alignment mark etched into the flap right here, and that's going to correspond with the body line right here. So we're going to go ahead and get that pushed into the triangle is sitting right inside that body line. Then we're going to align the top notch and just kind of get it setting square with the body. Now we'll take our silver Sharpie and mark it from the inside, marking in the middle of each hole onto the liner. Our Sharpie. Once those are marked on your liner here, now we can start disassembly and remove the 2 factory screws on the bottom. The 2 pieces of hardware that we'll be removing is this plastic screw right here, which is a T25 Torx. We've already loosened ours. And then you'll remove this nut in here, which is a 10mm. So we'll go ahead, remove both of those. Now we can pull down, lift this, pull this down, and push forward to release the liner. Now we can hop back up and place our clips. Now with the liner, we're going to pull it out. We're going to find our marks. We're going to take our red nylon clips. These open up and the panel slides in them. So we're going to slide them onto the liner like so, aligning it with the level of where our dot is, not just our dot. We're going to push the clip on as far as we can onto the liner. And so the dot is just going to set our height, and then the clip will set our depth. So with all of those in place and aligned with that, we can now go ahead and take our drill with 1/8" drill bit, and we're just going to drill the center of the hole on each of the clips, going through them, or going through the hole in the clip, in through the liner to create our pass-through holes for our screws. So once you have those all drilled, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our mounting screws, and this is just going to help keep the clip in place while we return the liner. Go ahead. Get that started by hand. With your screws in place holding your clips should be approximately right along this lower corner here, just slightly above the body line here, and then right as the liner starts to slightly curve. Those are the positions that they should be. At this point, if you need to, you can always reference with your flap, making sure that they are in the proper zone. Now we're ready to tuck our liner back in and then secure the OEM screws on the bottom. Now we've replaced the liner. It just takes a little bit of flexing, and also the bottom mount point that has that OEM nut, you have to lift it up and over a stud, so it's a little bit of flexing to get it back into place. Now we're good to take those 2 OEM hardware pieces and put those back in. Now we'll go ahead and put this guy back in. And then next we'll take our 10mm nut and put that on that stud. With those OEM hardware pieces back in place, we can now install our flap. To install our flap, now with the liner back in place, we're going to remove our screws like so. Then we're going to take our screws and place them through washers. Getting those all prepped. Then we're going to start from the bottom. We're going to go into that bottom insert there. We'll take our Phillips head drive. Get that started and lightly snug, just to support the flap. And we're going to work our way up the fender. And now finally the top hole. With those just barely snug, we can now go ahead and adjust it to our liking. Get it set to where we want. Then we'll check the bottom edge with a level. With that set in the position that we like, we can go ahead and fully tighten these down. With those fully tightened down, that's how you complete the front. You can repeat these same steps on the other side. Now let's go ahead and install the rear. Here we have the rear laid out. What you'll get in your kit is your mud flap or splash guard for that corner, and then you'll also get the hardware. We'll go ahead and put a breakdown of the hardware on the screen right now. Here we are at the rear of the vehicle. We're going to begin by removing the two OEM fasteners located right here and right here. Both of those are an 8mm socket. We've already pre-loosened ours, so we're just going to go ahead and undo those by hand. We can go ahead, set those to the side. Now we're going to take our flathead screwdriver, we're going to pull the liner away, and we're going to remove the factory clip right here and right here. You may need to get underneath to open up the clip. They have this little pull tab right there that if you lift, it will release, and then they should slide off. We'll do that same thing for the top here. Now we can go ahead and set those pieces to the side. We're going to replace those clips with the red nylon clips provided in your kit. To do so, we're going to take it, and these open up so that they can go over top of the panel and slide onto it like so. Get those into position on the top and bottom mounting holes. Now we'll go ahead and return that liner to its original place. Here on the passenger side, the lower mount hole is a little bit different than the driver side because you have extra plastic cladding. And so you'll see this is the hole, and then there's a little piece of plastic behind it. We're actually going to take our clip, and instead of mounting it on the front one, we're going to slide it over the back plastic. Slide it over that back one, like so, and align it with the same hole. Now that we've got the liner returned, we're going to go ahead and grab our flap to begin mounting. I'm going to grab our flap, a 2.5-inch screw with a washer. We're going to place that in our bottom hole. Then we're going to take our second washer and then our spacer. And now this is going to go directly into that bottom mounting hole. Right into that clip. We'll get that supported. And for the upper hole, we're going to do the same thing. We'll take our 2.5-inch screw with a washer, placing a washer on the back side, and then also placing our spacer. Go ahead and get that started as well. Now we can take our Phillips head drive and get these snugged up. Now we're going to snug up our top hole, getting it to where we can just barely move the flap around. We're going to set our adjustment, getting it to where we like. Then we'll go ahead and check the bottom with a level. And get it to where we like. We'll go ahead and hold this in place. And tighten these down. Just until snug. You will go ahead and compress the rubber spacers just a little bit. Also checking again with your level, making sure that it looks good. Alright, and with those fully tightened down, that's how you complete the rear. You can repeat these same steps on the other side. Thanks for watching.